In the dead of night, the abandoned apartment building, untouched for a decade, stood as a silent sentinel at the end of a desolate street. Its darkened windows and crumbling façade whispered tales of forgotten memories and unseen inhabitants. For years, the neighborhood had been plagued by mysterious sounds emanating from within. Its decaying walls, eerie whispers, unsettling footsteps, and the occasional haunting melody that floated through the air like a ghostly lullaby. Residents spoke in hushed tones about the supernatural occurrences, their voices tinged with fear and fascination. Some claimed to have seen phantom figures flickering behind the grime-covered windows. Others recounted tales of unexplained cold, spots in the feeling of being watched. Despite the growing unease, no one dared to venture inside, the terror of the unknown far outweighing their curiosity. That is until one fateful evening, driven by a mix of bravery and intrigue, a young man named Murad decided to uncover the truth behind the enigmatic noises. Armed with nothing but a flickering flashlight and a heart pounding in his chest, he approached the building's entrance. The heavy door creaked open, releasing a gust of stale air that carried the scent of dust and decay. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with foreboding. The narrow hallway stretched out before him, lined with faded wallpaper peeling away to reveal the cracked plaster beneath. Each step Murad took echoed through the silence, the sound amplified by the emptiness that surrounded him. As he moved deeper into the building, the temperature seemed to drop, and a chill settled into his bones. Suddenly, a soft rustling sound caught his attention. He turned sharply, the beam of his flashlight cutting through the darkness to reveal nothing, just an empty corridor stretching into the unknown. But the sound persisted, growing louder, more insistent. It was coming from the floor above. Summoning his courage, Murad ascended the creaking staircase, each step protesting under his weight. At the top, he found himself in a long hallway, lined with doors on either side. One door at the very end stood ajar, a faint light spilling out into the corridor. With a deep breath, he approached, the ominous feeling intensifying with each step. Pushing the door open, Murad was met with a sight that sent a shiver down his spine. The room was furnished, as if frozen in time, a dusty armchair, a cracked mirror, and a gramophone in the corner, inexplicably playing a melancholic tune. But what truly caught his eye was the figure, standing by the window, a woman, her back turned to him, her long hair cascading down her back. "Hello?" Murad's voice wavered, barely more than a whisper. The woman turned slowly, her face pale and eyes hollow, as if she were staring right through him. "You shouldn't be here," she murmured, her voice echoing with an otherworldly resonance. Before Murad could respond, the room seemed to warp into a surreal landscape, bending reality in ways he could never have imagined. The walls seemed to breathe, the shadows danced, and the ghostly figure before him began to fade into mist. In that moment, Murad realized that he had stepped into a realm where the line between the living and the dead blurred, where forgotten memories and unseen inhabitants emerged from the shadows to tell their stories. As he stood transfixed, the woman's voice echoed in his ears, a haunting melody that spoke of loss and longing. And in that abandoned apartment building, untouched for a decade, Murad came face to face with the ghosts of the past, their whispered tales weaving through the decaying walls, resonating with the echoes of a time long gone. And as he finally turned to leave, the darkness seemed to embrace him, whispering secrets of forgotten memories and unseen inhabitants that lingered in the dead of night.